Richard Cordray has been appointed to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau chief position, and this morning he did not get past a Republican filibuster. They actually had a vote 53 to 45, which he seems to have won. He got more than the majority, but of course, as you all know, in a filibuster you need 60 votes, and apparently the minute that President Obama was elected, every single thing that goes to the Senate needs 60 votes, which was not the case before, but apparently our media has collective amnesia and now says, well, that's standard operating procedure, which, by the way, I guarantee you is the case until you have a Republican president, and then all of a sudden it will no longer be standard operating procedure. It will flip back to its head. So he's for the moment being stopped. Now, President Obama had said, well, no. If we don't nominate Elizabeth Warren, who's the one who created the department in the first place and who's the one who set it up, the Republicans will then see how reasonable we are, and they'll probably work with us on Richard Cordray, who they don't even mind. They have no personal objection to. In fact, Orrin Hatch, senator from Utah, said, this is not about the nominee, who appears to be a decent person and may very well be qualified. Great, right? Nope, still not going to let him through. Of course we told you. It doesn't matter who you nominate. In fact, the Republicans even said it before the nomination. They said, we don't give a damn who you nominate. We don't care if we like him or we think he's eminently qualified. We don't like this bureau that's been created. Now, it was a law that was passed. They must follow it, except they're not going to, okay? They said, well, we're not going to give you the head of the department, and if you don't have the head of the department, according to that law, you will not be able to check up on the banks on many different issues, like all the overcharges, et cetera, all the different abuses that the banks do for their consumers. Why are the Republicans doing this? Now, you all know why. Because they get paid by the banks. They're the protectors of the banks. So they hate this bureau that actually protects consumers. They despise it. So they say, it doesn't matter. You can nominate Ronald Reagan for it, and we would vote no, which would be slightly logical because he's dead. But it doesn't matter who it is. They're not buying it, right? And then I love their excuse afterwards. Scott Wong from Politico reports, quote, Republicans say the administration should have approached them directly if it wanted Cordray confirmed instead of launching a campaign that seems geared towards posturing for the 2012 election. Oh, all he had to do was ask you? What a bunch of jokers you guys are. He did ask you. He asked you over and over. Like, oh, now, if he had just, come and talk to us reasonably, we probably would have said yes, but we feel slighted. But wait a minute, you're on record saying earlier that you absolutely positively would have turned down anybody, which is exactly what you did. So here's the good news. President Obama, for the moment being, is standing strong on this. And he's saying, look, I got all options on the table, and I might simply do a recess appointment. The Republicans are doing this clearly to protect the bankers. Now, he didn't say quite as strong as that, but he said, who in their right mind thought that we had too much regulation of the bankers and think that we need less regulation of the bankers? He said almost no one in the country believes that outside of the bankers. Now, that was a nice, strong comment by President Obama. He said that this morning when he came out and did a press conference, basically getting in the Republicans' grill on this. That I enjoyed. That was nicely done. And he seems to be following through on him. Now, we'll see if he does the recess appointment. But, at least on the upside, he's saying, if you don't confirm this guy, I'm going to make you pay a political price for it. Let's hope he sticks to that. That's the right path. And then eventually you should do a recess appointment and get him in there anyway, because the Republicans will simply never work with him on this issue, because their number one job is to protect the banks.